So the playthrough ended a bit sad, didn't it? We deleted our save file and all our hard work. It didn't go to waste because we sacrificed our save file, our data, to help other players who were playing the game. You know, in that last little, I imagine it's that last little credit sequence, or our little hacking spaceship helped out and was part of the group at the end for some people to get them through the credits. And that's pretty cool. I like that. It's pretty magical. And you know, I actually felt loss. You know, you could probably see it in the end of the stream. I was thinking that we would have a chance to restore the save because I remember seeing something about Nier Replicant, which I didn't like get all the endings. I just got the basic ending for that game, Nier Replicant. But I remember seeing videos about how there was a certain point where you delete your save, and I think maybe in the remake you were able to restore it or something. I don't know. I thought that maybe we would be able to restore it, but you know, I soon discovered that no. And then I was kind of thinking, well, that's life. I'm just gonna have to live with it. But after the stream, I realized that I could just back up my save, and I had because I have PlayStation Plus, the essential tier, and that automatically backs up my saves at certain intervals, and it just so happened that I had it backed up from that night. Basically, I downloaded my backup save from the cloud and restored my data. Or you can say that I cheated myself out of the true feeling of loss, even though I experienced it for, you know, a few minutes. But I feel like it ties to the themes of the game and the idea that, hey, like, you can, you know, this game's all about like the digital self versus the real self versus, you know, a copy of yourself versus whatever. And so we happen to have a copy in the cloud, you know, kind of like a moon bunker or something had a copy, and we downloaded it from there, the PlayStation Moon Bunker. And now we're back here. Basically, we're able to use our cosmetics. We got our hair dye that it took, you know, we had to do the Coliseum to do that. We have the dress module, and we have chapter select now. And you know, and basically it took me like just a couple hours to get the endings again, because the backup save was from like a few hours earlier. I basically just speed ran to the ending and got the endings again in a couple hours. It wasn't that bad, you know. It was a little bit frustrating doing the final bosses because those last bosses I didn't like so much, but it was better than having to start from scratch, you know. But yeah, I didn't want to leave off the playthrough with some sadness. I wanted to put a little bow on the end of this little playthrough here on YouTube. And so that, you know, any viewers watching know that I'm gonna keep playing the game and keep doing the side missions. But it's nice now because now I get to choose, you know, what characters I want to play as, at what time, and I can, you know, do the side quests at my leisure with my cosmetics I already have and upgraded weapons and stuff, and I can continue to upgrade my weapons and get new pod programs and such. Overall, I feel like the game was a bit inconsistent for me. I appreciate all the genres within the game and bouncing back between different game modes and getting different perspectives from different characters at different points. But I just gravitate more towards the 3D action games, so like I enjoyed more of that aspect. I wasn't, you know, sometimes I felt like it was a bit of a chore to get through some of the twin shooter games. And then with 9S, the hacking segments as well, like sometimes got tedious. Even still with the regular fighting, the regular like 3D action, it did get tedious sometimes. You know, I wish there were more like humanoid enemies or aliens or something we could have fought, because some of the robots just felt like there's just too much robots out everywhere to fight. I did like the movement mechanics, the jumping, the double jumps, the gliding with the pod. I really like dashing around with the A2. I wish we had more time playing as her, you know. The story was pretty good. You know, the philosophy of what it means to be human, you know, the robots trying to get close to humanity, and, you know, the androids discovering how close they were to humans and how close they were to robots, and really where do you draw the line, you know, et cetera, et cetera. It's really, you know, it's the kind of themes you see in a lot of sci-fi of this genre. And it was pretty well done. You know, I feel like sometimes it got a little bit too dramatic, which is something you see commonly in like shonen anime, and perhaps for my taste it veered a little bit too close to some of that anime shonen style. You know, particularly with 9S's character, English voiceovers were okay, but I think it's better with Japanese. I think the Japanese performances really turned it up a notch a little more. The scenes with the robots, you know, the whole cult section of them like finding God and religion, and then the story with Pascal was cute. Like, there was a lot of great stuff. That's probably my favorite parts of the game, were those little robot stories. It's the kind of game that, you know, breaks the fourth wall. It subverts your expectations as you play along. So I feel like, you know, the first playthrough is pretty impactful, with a lot of like twists and turns you don't really see coming, and it does, you know, try to keep it fresh with the gameplay changes, switching back and forth between 2D, 3D, shoot, and hack and slash. But in the day, it still kind of felt a little bit repetitive. I think it's just that I tend to like more of like the one-on-one encounters in action games, and when there's like a lot of enemies on screen and there's a lot of bullets to dodge all around the place, you know, everything kind of just blurs together, and it just starts feeling like I start feeling like I'm just button mashing. There's a lot of these little things kind of keep it from being like a 10 out of 10 game for me. You know, maybe if I get close to 100% or something and I start really getting into it more, maybe I'll have some follow-up thoughts, you know, once I've complete all the side missions or whatever. But if not, then, you know, this will have to do. See you later. Bye.